Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Foxy298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with Season 2, Round 2 of my F1 2016 career mode, now with Mercedes, and as you can see, it's the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we're going to be getting our first R&D upgrade for Mercedes. We did it in Australia, and I believe it was the fuel efficiency to allow us to run into rich revs a lot longer. Yep, it's fuel efficiency. So there it is, guys. But before we get into this, I just want to give a massive thank you to every single one of you that has been supporting my videos recently. Not only has my FIFA 17, the Journey video, done pretty well. Yesterday's one's a little bit slow on the views because I had to get rid of it and then re-upload it because of some problems. But my F1 videos in general, especially episode 1 of this, and even the final episode of Season 1, have gone down a massive, massive treat with all you guys. You seem to be really enjoying it. And for that, I really do thank you a lot for it. And if you can show as much support as you have been doing for the other ones, I will do a live stream tonight at 8:30 PM as a celebratory live stream. Basically just saying thank you for just being such fucking awesome people. You're just really, really awesome people, and you always show such great support that I feel like doing an open lobby live stream is one of the best ways to give back to you guys by just being able to for you guys being able to play with me and just having the time to socialize with my fans and support people that support me and playing some games. I feel it's just a great way to do. So yeah, if you guys can show some support, maybe get to like 10 likes or as close to as 10 likes as you can on this video by 8:30 PM, I will do a live stream later as sort of like a thank you stream, really, for just being fucking awesome people. But anyway, let's get into the practice testing. So you saw that we did the track acclimatization test. We actually did the qualifying simulation run first because I was struggling with a tyre wear test because I actually had the wrong setup on the car for the tyre wear test. So it was like an objective to run 2 different setups. So what I did is I ran a setup that would help me for the fast lap, and then I went and did my race setup then for the tyre wear test. So that's what I did there. So as you can see now, we're going to be getting the session objectives from Emma herself. She's going to be telling us that she wants 2nd or higher again to beat our rival Nico Rosberg. But remember, Rosberg's no longer in this career mode anymore. So by the end of this race, or even by qualifying even, we will be beating Rosberg, and we'll get a proper rival then that's actually in this season. So as you can see there, we plant the car into 2nd place, eventually gets us 6th place on the grid. That's only Q1 though, so we're not too concerned about that. Coming into Q2 now for this Bahrain Grand Prix, we're coming down the pit straight now. DRS is in a couple of 100 meters time. There is the DRS, and across the line to set the fastest lap of Q2. I believe it was the quickest of Q2, so we've got some pace. Coming into Q3 then, we run a little bit wide on the apex of the final corner. That's going to affect us a little bit. Coming down the long straight, can we beat Lewis Hamilton's time? We are just slower than Lewis Hamilton. Literally by half a tenth or so of a second, we lost out to Lewis Hamilton. It's on all Mercedes front row, but I was absolutely gutted that I couldn't beat Lewis Hamilton there. Really thought that we would have the pace to go and set that lap, but I just felt like that final corner lost us that half a tenth that we needed, and I was gutted with that. But at the end of the day, we've got a front row start, and as you can see here with the rivalry between myself and Nico Rosberg, we just need that one more point, and we'll get that point because Rosberg is just not in this career mode, and we stay there in the driver's position there pretty nice. With 6 points at the moment. We're looking to try and increase that. Then we're going to be getting the race goals now from Emma. She's going to be telling us what the team would like from the race, and there they are on your screens. So that's practice, and that's qualifying done. Let's get into the race for the Bahrain Grand Prix Season 2. Let's do it.
There's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and 2 DRS zones will help with that as well. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. I won't be commentating alone today, of course. Nope, I have the honour to share this commentary box with none other than Anthony Davidson. And you and I were talking earlier today about how tight that midfield battle is compared to the last couple of years. Why do you think that is?
Well, I suppose the main reason is simply stability in the regulations. Look at what we had towards the end of the V8 era. In 2012, we had 7 winners in 7 races. And we talk about the dominance of Red Bull at that time, but their advantage was rarely more than 2 or 3 tenths of a second. And we've had this current formula now for a couple of years, and that serves to solve any teething troubles with reliability. And let's not forget that these cars are more technical than ever before, so it was always going to take a bit of time for those gaps to come down.
Right, let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and a Mercedes alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo and Button, Verstappen, Alonso, Bottas and Sergio Perez, Sainz, Massa, Romain Grosjean and Hülkenberg, Kvyat, Wehrlein, Esteban Gutierrez and Rio Haryanto, Magnussen and Palmer, Marcus Ericsson and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
I think, guys, we're on the grid now for the Bahrain Grand Prix. As you can see, the strategy is all been placed out here. We're going to be starting on the super soft tyres and then go into the soft tyres for the end of the race. But crucially, you can see in front of me, my teammate Lewis Hamilton will be starting the race on the soft tyres, and Sebastian Vettel behind me is also starting on the soft tyres. And that's crucial. That means that Vettel and Hamilton are going longer on their first stints than I am, meaning that I've got to get past Hamilton and I've got to stay in front of Vettel. I've got to get past Hamilton as quick as I can and build myself a gap. So here we go. We've got 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix. An okay-ish start for myself. I tuck into the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton, pull back to the right-hand side of the circuit, making the late braking move down into turn 1, give me the inside line, straight past Lewis Hamilton there, and up into P1 for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Coming now through turn 2 and turn 3. And now making the run up towards turn 4. You can see the gap I'm already building, and I need to do so because these two of Hamilton and Vettel are on the soft tyres, so they're going to be going longer. Remember back in episode 1 when Daniel Ricciardo was on the soft tyres, he then switched to the super soft tyres and blitzed it to the end of the race. This time now I'm in front of those long running drivers. Now I need to build that gap to come into the pits and hold off the drivers when eventually they'll be making their later pit stops than me. So, as you can see then, Lewis Hamilton stays in second, Sebastian Vettel is in third. Not sure how the grid is. It's been quite a clean start, to be honest. No yellow flags. We come through this turn 10 complex there, which is super difficult to do. And we get past that nice and cleanly with no problems there. And you can already see the big gap that I am building, and I know that I've just got to get my head down. This first stint is probably going to be a little bit of a boring stint, basically, because I'm now out in front. Hamilton and Vettel are on slower tyre compounds than I am, and my objective is simple. Go and pump in the fastest laps I possibly can, and then hope that when Hamilton and Vettel come in, my gap is big enough so that Vettel and Hamilton can't make use of their fresher tyres come the end of the race. And that's the thing we've got to do. So coming around the final corner, you can see we hit that nicely. We didn't quite ride the curb really as much as we would have wanted to there. I sort of stayed away from the curb a little bit. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes it can reduce your speed when you're on the curb like that, and it's a bit frustrating. But there you go, coming across the start-finish line there to set the fastest lap of the race so far. Very impressive there to do that. Coming round turn 1 there, we take that a little bit wide, missing the apex there. Getting a replay of the start, you can see Hamilton definitely got the better start than I did, so I decided to tuck into the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton, and then I put myself back out of the slipstream when I closed back up to Hamilton, braking nice and late down the inside. You can see that we managed to get the position done there. Hamilton has to battle with Vettel through turn 2 and turn 3. That gives us the advantage then coming up towards turn 4. It means that Lewis Hamilton is just a little bit further behind us, and he's not going to be able to trouble us as quickly as he would have wanted to. And as you can see now, coming through this little middle sector here, or coming through the end of the first sector, now the start of the middle sector, coming through this sweeping little S section here, and then breaking down into the right-hander. You can see Lewis Hamilton, followed by Vettel. I'm trying to look who's behind. It is the 2 Red Bulls, I believe. Ricciardo, the race winner, in episode 1, if you haven't seen that, spoiler alert. Max Verstappen and then Kimi Raikkonen. And as you can see, coming towards what is the DRS zone, the small DRS zone, no one really makes any overtakes around this sector. It's really only just for the purpose of closing up on a driver. You never really see anyone making those DRS overtakes. And you can see us sweeping through now the end of the middle sector towards the final sector of the circuit. And like I said before, we're literally just going out to try and pump out as many quick laps as we possibly can before we have to make the early pit stop. And I'm also trying to do this so we don't get stuck in traffic as well. If we get stuck in traffic in the pit stops again, that's going to be a problem for us as well, coming out of the pit stop. So, yeah, we need to be wary of that as well. So, coming around the final corner here, we do a very nice job there. A nice, clean, nice, calm first lap, jumping Hamilton and getting on with it. Skipping to head lap 4 of the Grand Prix, and you can already see on the mini-map my gap is building massively at the moment. And I just keep doing the same thing. And the reason I've kept this clip in is to show you guys I'm really pushing right now. I've got no choice. I have to push because these guys on the soft tyres will be a threat at the end. And there it is. Fastest lap of the race so far. Really pushing. A 1:34.248 then. A great lap for myself. Lap 5 of the Grand Prix. Hamilton started to close back up on us now, as well as Sebastian Vettel, as my super soft tyres begin to wear away. And it's now time for me to come into the pits. You can see we're heading towards the pit lane now. Braking hard for the pit lane speed limiter, and into the pits we go. As you can see, there goes Lewis Hamilton, and Sebastian Vettel will be following Hamilton very shortly. So we need to make sure that we get this pit stop sorted. My mechanics do a great job with that, really helping me out there. And you can see there's the big amount of traffic though, but luckily they're quite far in front, so we're not going to have to worry about that massive chunk of cars. It's going to be these next few here that are going to start to be a bit of a worry for us. Otherwise, we're literally just going to have to settle in now, get these soft tyres up to temperature as quick as we possibly can, and try and eat away at that lead that Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel will get, because they're eventually going to be quick. So I want to start really picking up the pace here and hoping that we can try and get something good of this. So we're going to move on now with a helicopter camera view of myself. I'm keeping all of this in because a little bit of action could potentially happen. So as you can see, coming through the S section, you can already see the amount of time that we're building, or the amount of time, sorry, that we're gaining on the Renault here of, I believe it's Kevin Magnussen. I can't really tell from this helicopter camera view of which one it is, but we've got the Renault, we've got, I believe that is a Toro Rosso, and we've got a Williams up front, and that's the yellow top. So it's Jolyon Palmer actually we've been closing. So we've got DRS here on Jolyon Palmer, who's got DRS on Danny Kvyat, who's also got DRS on Esteban Gutierrez. We're going to go to the inside line here, and we leave Jolyon Palmer there for dust there. No chance for Jolyon to really fight us off. He's on worn soft tyres. We've just come out of the pits on our soft tyres, and we are a much faster car than him. Braking nice and late down into this difficult section here. Slight bit of contact between my front left wheel and Danny Kvyat's right rear wheel. Nothing major though, no problems for both of the drivers. And we're coming now round towards the final corner. Next on our hit list is Esteban Gutierrez. And what we're going to be showing you now is just the raw power of my Mercedes engine. You can see it here. We haven't even hit the DRS line. There's the DRS line. And everyone coming into the pits, and we blitz it past Gutierrez there. No chance for Esteban. And we've got the manner of Rio Haryanto in front of us, followed firmly by Pascal Wehrlein and some other drivers up ahead. So Haryanto on the super soft tyres. Lap 7 of the Grand Prix. Everything seems to be going our way at the moment. No sorts of trouble going on right now. And to be honest, I'm happy with no trouble at the moment. I need a trouble-free race. Although, to be fair, Australia was a trouble-free race in the second stint. But I know that Lewis Hamilton and Vettel are still my main threats, so I really need to watch out for those. But we go purple in the first sector. Fastest first sector of anybody in the race so far. So if we are to try and build our lead against Hamilton and Vettel, we're doing a damn right good job of it. So we're catching Rio Haryanto as we speak, actually. Not going to get the DRS on Haryanto, unfortunately, who's currently in third place, but he will need to make a pit stop to go onto the soft tyres. Actually going quite a long way on his super soft tyres, sorry, the red marked compound tyre. So he's going to be going quite some distance in this race. He's going to be getting some very fresh soft tyres towards the end of the race if he does pit for the soft tyres. Doesn't have to, he could pit for the white-walled medium compound tyres. So if we brake hard now down into the long back straight, you can see that my pursuit is ongoing, and Rio Haryanto is actually catching Carlos Sainz in front. So that's who's in front of Rio Haryanto. We've got Carlos Sainz there. So Pascal Wehrlein actually has come into the pits, and Rio Haryanto will probably come in afterwards. You can see we make a massive gain in the braking zone of the final corner. We've got the DRS. We try and grab a slight little slipstream off Rio Haryanto. Nothing comes of it. Fastest lap for myself once again really pumping in some quick laps. We've got so much straight line speed. We're going to brake nice and late down the inside of Carlos Sainz. We run a little bit wide onto the corner. We then try and move, but a bit of contact has been made actually between me and Carlos Sainz during that little incident there. I'm not quite sure what happened there. You saw that I lost the rear of the car, and that's actually caused the safety car to come out. So the contact between me and Carlos Sainz has caused the safety car to come out. We're going to drop the car into lean fuel mixture, save myself some fuel. But what we're going to do is we're going to get a replay of that because I need to see what happened here. So as you can see, Arianto dives into the pits, and then we've got the DRS and the slipstream and the power of the Mercedes engine catching Dani Kvyat, braking hard down into turn 1. You can see that we get the job done. We go a brake a little bit later. I then try and move my car to get into turn 2. Me and Kvyat's problems, Carlos Sainz's problems. As you can see there, I brake. Carlos goes for a... Oh, it's his front wing actually that's gone and tagged my car. Okay. Unfortunately there, just a racing incident. He tried to go for the switchback, but he just didn't have enough of his car forwards. In fairness, I did turn in a little bit too much, but the switchback was never going to work, unfortunately. And it's just one of those unfortunate incidents. But lap 11 of the Grand Prix now, we've got a problem. Lewis Hamilton actually pitted for the medium compound tyres and not the super soft tyres, so a bit of a controversial move there. But the gap that I built between Hamilton and Vettel is gone, and lap 11 coming to lap 12, we're going to have a crazy end to this Grand Prix. We've got to get going. So as you can see, I shut the car straight into rich fuel mixture, and we've bolted. We need to push. Hamilton's on a slower compound of tyre, but his are a lot fresher than mine. He's got the same car as mine. He's got the slipstream to his advantage. At the moment, it's advantage Hamilton, and we don't make things easy for ourselves by going wide into turn 1, into turn 2 and turn 3, making the run up towards the hill of turn 4. You can see that we are in the rich fuel mixture, but Hamilton, like I just said, he's got the same car as mine, and he's got the slipstream, braking hard into turn 4. You can see there, we managed to stay just in front of Lewis Hamilton for the time being, but I'm guaranteeing that Hamilton is going to attack us at some point. So coming to the end of the first sector here, a little bit down on our fastest lap time, but our tyres are wearing out now, so we're going to try and be expecting that. Moving to a different camera perspective here, we're braking down into this difficult corner, but we get understeer on the exit, losing out on the curb there. Lewis Hamilton's got fantastic traction, goes to the inside line. I brake earlier, Hamilton goes super wide because I broke so much earlier, down the inside into turn 10. We do a beautiful switchback move on Lewis Hamilton there. Basically through that triple left-hander that you saw there, what I did is when Hamilton was on the inside line, I braked earlier, so then Hamilton would go much quicker into the corner. He then lost control of the car, and he had massive understeer because he was just in the wrong line, and it was able for me to switch back then on Lewis Hamilton, get the position back here. But it's going to be it's a crazy end to this race. I'm now having to defend all this entire Grand Prix. My entire race has just been pushing, and now Lewis Hamilton fancies a run and us going down into the final corner. We give him the space to go around the inside line, but he decides to back out of it, thinks better of it, even though there was plenty of space for me to do, for him to have that one. And coming now down towards lap 13 of the Grand Prix, just 2 more to go, and Lewis Hamilton is still right there. Max Verstappen, though, is having a little run on Lewis Hamilton. He fancies gaining some places after what was an impressive 2nd place in Australia for Verstappen. Now he fancies having a run on my teammate Lewis Hamilton, in which we don't want to be scrapping too much, me and Hamilton, because if we crash out, that's it. That's going to be the end of it. But Hamilton gets superb traction coming out of turn 3, but there's just not enough straight line left towards turn 4 that Hamilton just can't make the move that he desperately would have wanted. Down towards the end of the first sector again, through this little middle S section, Hamilton definitely a lot quicker with his fresher medium compound tyres, giving a lot more grip. Again, more understeer in the same corner as before, and Lewis Hamilton has got the traction once again. He goes to the inside line. Great move from Hamilton. We again brake earlier than Lewis Hamilton, but this time Hamilton sticks it around the outside. Great move from Hamilton, and now we're into pressure, so we're going to stick right into the slipstream of my teammate Lewis Hamilton. We're going to move to the left-hand side of the circuit, braking nice and late down the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Great move from myself there, and we get back in front of Hamilton. And big inter-team battle going on here. I bet Toto Wolff and Paddy Lowe are shitting themselves right now, because we are just literally fighting for dear life right now to try and win this race. We've got Verstappen, Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen all hunting us down, but you can see, look at the tremendous slipstream Hamilton's got on us. Coming down the inside into the final corner we go. Verstappen there looking to try and find a way past if anything goes wrong between the pair of us. And you can see there are the rear wings of our car. DRS is going to be activated though, and again, Lewis Hamilton is going to be super quick, super speedy, although he doesn't actually have DRS, so okay, maybe they don't have DRS, but Verstappen fancies to run as well. He's going to try and jump in the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton down into turn 1. Hamilton locks up the brakes. He sends us both wide there. Poor stuff from Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton had the inside line into the corner. He outbraked himself, made contact with me, and I believe he's hit Verstappen, and yes, Sebastian Vettel is going to take advantage of that problem. But we're skipping further ahead now, and you can see as we break down in towards this turn 10 section here, once again, Lewis Hamilton is going to be looking to fancying a run on us. You can see he has got the DRS on us, and as we pacing it down towards the inside line here, we're going to protect it, but Lewis Hamilton just not close enough, and that may just be it for this Bahrain Grand Prix. Hamilton may not get another chance to get in front of us. You can see us two Mercedes drivers pulling further away from the Ferrari, and we can concentrate on ourselves. But breaking into this corner towards the back straight, I get stuck on the curbs there. I run wide, and Hamilton steals the lead from us on the final lap, but I'm not giving up. It's going to be a drag towards the finish line here. So close. Such great racing from the pair of us. We're breaking down. The final corner is here. Hamilton and I scrapping. We get the inside line on Lewis Hamilton through the final corner. You can see now we got past Hamilton and taking the checkered flag after a crazy end to this F1 race in Bahrain. Just like in 2014 when it was a crazy end. We come through and we win our first race of this season. A fantastic result for the Mercedes team. Toto Wolff there, extremely happy, but I'm pretty sure he was super nervous when it came down to us, me and Hamilton, battling for the lead. Not only is that our first win of the season, but it's our first win for Mercedes. A fantastic result for us. We definitely needed that. I honestly thought Red Bull would be a bit more competitive in this race. To be honest, I had the race covered in the first stint. Once that safety car came out and Hamilton and Vettel on their fresher tyres were able to have the gap that they should have closed, closing down straight away for them, it was a lot difficult to fend them back then, but we did do it, and we managed to come through and win the race there. And a brilliant result for us. Guys, if you have enjoyed this race, drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new around here, and yeah, if we can try and get as much support as we've been shown for the other videos, I'll do an open lobby live stream for you guys, for you subscribers, fans, viewers, supporters, whatever, tonight. So we can chill on there. As you can see then, here is the full classification. So myself takes the victory, Lewis Hamilton takes second to a Mercedes 1-2. Vettel finishes in third with Max Verstappen in fourth, with Ricciardo fifth, Raikkonen sixth, Grosjean in 7th, so a good result for Haas. A bad result for McLaren, finishing 9th and 10th. Very competitive in Australia, but they just weren't seen to be that competitive in Bahrain, unfortunately. Into the drivers' standings, we actually now take the lead of the drivers' standings, ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, after Ricciardo finished in 4th, and we finished in 1st and in 3rd. In the constructors' standings, we now take 2nd in the constructors' standings, moving up the order from 3rd in the constructors' standings. So a good result for Mercedes all round this weekend. Definitely what we needed after a struggled-ish, after a bit of a difficult race, I would have said, in Australia. But as you can see, we're now going to be collecting our resource points. And the rivalry update, we're now going to finally beat Nico Rosberg. So for the next race, we will have a brand new rival who is actually taking part in the actual races himself. And as you can see in the driver's position, we're now stacking up those points, trying to get us closer to that purple part as we can. And we do that, actually. We're now up to 10 maximum, you know, drivers' happiness there. And onto the voicemail, it's Emma basically talking about how the executives are happy with our performance and everything like that. So they're obviously clearly happy with what we've been doing in the races. But until then, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop a like on the video. I'm just going to check if we didn't do any upgrades beforehand. No, we didn't. All right, so next time I'll be seeing you for the Chinese Grand Prix. So until then, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Peace.